Hi again. Let's continue talking about React Native, and we'll just kind of continue from our last example. We're mocking up a sort of a weather app here. We've got some things arranged on the screen. We're using Flexbox to align the top level items all vertically, and then we've got another Flexbox here that's nested, right? And this one is arranging its child objects horizontally, and then each one of those children is arranged in a flex box that's aligned vertically, right? So this is a line column, this is a line row, and then inside there, each child is a line column again. Okay, so Flexbox is super flexible. That's almost a joke, right? But I mean, it's just really flexible, right? It's just super great. Like there's all these things you can do with it, right? So anyway, so there we go. Let's talk about passing properties down to components, because I kind of have a problem here that I've created this element, but the day and the temperature is the same for each one, and that doesn't make it very useful, right? What we need to do is we need to be able to pass in the day of the week and the temperature that we want to display. So let's do that, right? So what we're going to do is I'm inside the daily forecast component. So this component represents each one of these day and temperature items, right? So just this whole box right here that the cursor is orbiting, just this area. And each one of these is an instance of this class daily forecast, right? So what we'd like to do is we'd like to replace the day of the week with the day of the week, right? So let's call it day of week, okay? Day of week, day of week, there we go, right? I'll make it camel case. And we got to get this from somewhere. So components can take in a JavaScript object called props, okay? And it contains properties that the component can use, right? So what we'll do is we'll say this dot props, and we'll pass in the day of the week on the props object, okay? And we'll do the same with the temperature. So right here where I've got the temperature, I'm going to replace the temperature with some curly braces and say this dot props dot temp. Okay, so there we go. We'll zoom out just a little bit there. Right, so this dot props dot temp and this dot props dot day of week. And if we like, I think on the outside here, I'll do Option K. So I put the temperature symbol on the outside, and hopefully that'll include it with the actual temperature, right? And what we want to do now is we want to pass these two values down. So we want to pass down day of week and temperature, and we'll do that from app.json. So when I switch to app.js, right? Every time I go to app.js here, you can see I've created an instance of forecast, and every time we create one of these, we can pass in the day of the week and the temperature. Okay, so each one of these can have values that we assign to it, and when we set up these attributes, right, this is kind of what they call them in HTML, right? The attribute values can be assigned to props or they generate props that exist here inside the component itself. So this dot props is an object that contains all of the values assigned to attributes here in the tag, right? So let me copy this and paste it here, 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 and day of the week can be Monday. Actually, I should put that in. Since this one is just a string, we can just make it a string like this. So I'll say Monday, and this one can be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And then the temperature here can be, 66, 65, 64, 63, and 62. I'm just doing the numbers, right? We could actually go out on the internet and grab the weather data. Right? We'll do that in a later video. I kind of like it when these things all align like this. It makes it easy to read. So I think I'm going to do that. Right? Let's see how we did there. I got the red screen of death, right? Let's see what does it say. It says JSX attributes must be the only only assigned a non-empty expression. I think I made a mistake here with the temperature, right? Let's make sure. Oh yeah, it's in app.js. Let me change that, right? Put this in quotes here. Since we're not getting it from a variable, I guess it doesn't allow us to put like a number in there, right? I'll just copy this right here and make this 66, 64, 63, and 65 there. Let's see, let's refresh that, right? Oh, there we go. So I've got the temperature there, I've got the day of the week, and hey, that looks pretty good. So anyway, so there's a quick note on passing props down to components, right? I can get rid of this. Maybe I don't need this red anymore. I kind of left that red in there to just show us where the area is for this particular view, right? So this outer view right here is the red box. So it's kind of good to do that every once in a while if I'm trying to figure out, how Flexbox works. It's really good to put a background on it, and then you can see the extent of a particular view, right? But maybe we don't need the background color to be red anymore. I'm going to delete that, right? Hey, and that looks pretty good. So anyway, so thanks for watching. I hope that that was helpful, and good luck with your projects.